So AOC said a few weeks ago that the world will end in 12 years if we don't address climate change. And apparently all of that was a joke. So right here she said, I was joking about the world ending in 12 years and you're an idiot if you believed me. So this is from the Daily Wire right here. So if you went around when she said the world will end in 12 years, she got a huge backlash from conservatives, and a lot of the left-wing, like the progressives, really cheered her on. So, outlets like the Young Turks, obviously the Young Turks, they always support her, and, they had her back. So what I'm going to do is just play the clip for you here of her saying the world is going to end in 12 years, then you can judge for yourself if she was joking or not. So this is the clip.
The world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change. And your biggest issue is your biggest issue is how are we going to pay for it?
So apparently that was a joke. And she says it was a joke and you're an idiot if you believed me. And you heard the crowd cheering this. So the crowd must be full of idiots. So those were AOC's fans. Those were like the progressives. So apparently all of them are idiots for believing her. So she didn't just say this, she also tweeted out about this. Climate change is here and we've got a deadline, 12 years left to cut emissions in half. And then she goes on to talk about the Green New Deal and all of that. So I'm assuming this is also a joke. So she said this joke twice, and did people laugh? I don't know. I don't know why this is why she's saying it's a joke. She's obviously made a mistake, and she's just not admitting to that mistake. She's made a lot of mistakes. I don't think she's admitted to any one of those mistakes. So she's a real pain in the butt for the Democrats right now. So they really literally have to just carry her. So people ask questions whenever she brings up all this, like in 12 years the world is going to change, world is going to end, and how are we going to save the world? And people ask her, okay, how are we going to pay for this then? Then she says, hey, World War II, how do we pay for World War II? She always points to World War II and says we somehow paid for World War II so we can actually pay for climate change. So during World War II, the richest were actually getting taxed at like 90%, 70% and all that, because they had to, and all the men actually had to go to war and stuff. So the entire population was under the government's control, because we had to do that, because if we didn't do that, then Hitler would have conquered America. Hitler would have conquered the world, and millions of people would have died. So that's something we had to pay for. We had to figure it out. But climate change, the study that she's citing, 12 years, that is the thing. But the world isn't going to end in 12 years. That's not something that the study showed. The study showed that there will be some consequences within 12 years of some species going extinct, and that is reversible. So we've had some species that were about to go extinct in the past, and we've always saved some of those extinct species, like some lizards. I think Richard Dawkins talked about the study before, where some lizards were about to go extinct, and then people did some preservation work, and then all of them got saved. I think a lot of elephants in Africa, lions in Africa are going extinct, but there's preservation work going on right now, and they will be saved. So these are all reversible, preventable problems that we have. The world isn't going to end. So I think climate change is an issue. So a lot of people on the right wing just say, oh, it's not an issue at all, we don't have to worry about it at all, and nothing's going to happen. So I'm more on the left with this. I do think climate change is real, but it's not going to, it's not this world-ending crisis that's coming. I think we're all going to be fine as long as we actually address the problem, maybe cut some emissions down, whatever it is. So I'm not a professional, but have read some papers that do sound a bit alarming, but that's for another video. But this is just I actually watched a documentary on climate change, which I might talk about soon, where they subtly mention AOC's Green New Deal, and they're talking about how we're going to solve climate change. And one of the guys that were on the documentary said, we need something more than just a document full of aspirations. And I think he was actually mentioning the Green New Deal, because the Green New Deal is apparently the solution to climate change. But then there's also, she talks about utopia, where everyone gets free healthcare, free education. Anyone who can't work will get money. Anyone who doesn't want to work, isn't willing to work, will get money. So that's just utopia. That's just, la la land. So it's just not going to work. So the Green New Deal definitely isn't the solution for climate change. Let's leave that to the climate scientists, and AOC, I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know what she's there for. All she does is just kind of do this whole, false activism thing, the modern day activist, which is not really an activist at all. So that's it for the video, and I'll see you in another video soon.